All right, so move on to the next segment. We're going to switch things over. Still talking about football. We're going to switch things over to the NFL side. And I'm going to talk about college football for a bit. So I'll be sharing my thoughts on my mock draft 1.0. This is just a small sample size of players I have going top 5 in the draft if the NFL draft were tomorrow night. These don't have any trades going on. I'm just keeping it how it is from the teams that will be selecting from 1 through 5. So this is my small mock draft. So mock draft 1.0. So on the board, the Chicago Bears will be selecting number 1 overall. And if the draft were tomorrow, I would see the Chicago Bears selecting Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia. Now, he still has the chance to go number 1 overall in this upcoming NFL draft, despite the fact that he could miss time with his MCL injury. I still believe he still has a chance to be the number 1 pick from all the impressive play that I've seen from him and his time with Georgia in his respective college football career. He has been one of the best defensive players in the defensive tackles in the country over the last 2 years. And despite the Chicago Bears needing an interior D lineman or a pass rush, they need an interior lineman or a pass rush. So I think Jalen Carter is the best available choice for the Chicago Bears team. I think he would go first overall if the draft were tomorrow night. Second is the Houston Texans, and I have them selecting a quarterback. It would be Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama. Despite the fact that this team has second overall pick and they could go in different directions other than a quarterback if they wanted to defensively. But I think it's time for them to get a new quarterback. They need a new franchise guy. They have failed to have a franchise quarterback since Deshaun Watson sat out for a season and then they traded him the following season. They're in need of a new franchise quarterback. I think Bryce Young is the best overall prospect heading into this draft. I would have him first overall selected to the Chicago Bears, but the Chicago Bears have Justin Fields, so there's no reason for them to select a quarterback in this draft class. Instead, they need to build and get pieces to help Justin Fields be successful out there in Chicago. So therefore, Bryce Young is my second overall pick to the Houston Texans. But Bryce Young is the best overall prospect heading into this draft. He's a former Heisman Trophy winner. In his college career, he threw for 8,356 passing yards, had 80 passing touchdowns to only 12 interceptions. That's a good passing touchdown and interception ratio for as many games as Bryce Young has started in his respective college career. Only reason why I could potentially see another quarterback being drafted over Bryce Young when I have my official mock draft when that time comes in spring, April, to be exact. But I can see another quarterback being selected over Bryce Young come draft night. It's only because of his height and his size. He is 5'11", currently is at 194 pounds, but he plans to meet with a nutritionist this spring to put on more healthy body weight, more massive muscle, so he can absorb them hits standing in the pocket or when he takes off and makes plays with his legs like he did in his college career. Other than that, besides his height and his weight, it shouldn't be a question. Bryce Young should be the second best player. The second overall player selected in this draft. I believe the Texans will still draft him second overall. Arizona Cardinals, if the draft were tomorrow, I have them selecting Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher from Alabama. Will Anderson Jr. is a special player to watch. I love watching his tape as well. He has the ability to be a special player in this league one day. My early comparisons to him, watching him over his college career or even going back and watching tape on Will Anderson Jr., the comparisons I have to him very early is a Khalil Mack. He reminds me of Khalil Mack when he is pass rushing, or he has the speed and athleticism of a Micah Parsons as well. So I think really highly of Will Anderson right now. He has during his college career, he has pressured the quarterback 97 times since the start of the 2021 college football season. Like I said, Micah Parsons just led the league in pressures this season. Will Anderson Jr. does a great job. If he's not getting sacks, he does a great job creating havoc and causing quarterback pressures heading into the quarterback. So he does a great job as well. I definitely think the Cardinals will need a pass rush since J.J. Watt has officially retired. That's going to be one of their downfalls heading into next season, one of their holes, I should say, on the defensive side of the ball. It would make sense for them to get Will Anderson Jr. Fourth overall at the draft or tomorrow, I would have the Indianapolis Colts selecting C.J. Stroud, quarterback from Ohio State. I think C.J. Stroud will break the narrative that Ohio State quarterbacks cannot play in the NFL level. Justin Fields has done that this season, having a breakout season, even though the Chicago Bears were absolutely terrible. But this was Justin Fields' coming out party. He's one of the guys that are going to break the narrative of Ohio State quarterbacks can't play quarterback at the national level, at the top level. And I think C.J. Stroud's going to follow in his footsteps as well. I think he's going to have a great NFL career. C.J. Stroud has a strong, efficient arm that will play well, potentially behind a good Colts offensive line that will be looking to rebound heading into next NFL season. This would be great for him as well because it would take the pressure off of his shoulders by having one of the best running backs to hand the ball to, and Jonathan Taylor in that backfield for Indianapolis. So he has the ability to be a great pocket passer in the league one day. I love C.J. Stroud's arm. It's very efficient. He makes a lot of strong throws, makes a lot of plays in the pocket. I'm looking forward to see what C.J. Stroud can do in his NFL career. And the fifth team, this will be the last team in my small mock draft. I would have the Seattle Seahawks selecting Tyree Wilson, edge rusher from Texas Tech. Now the Seahawks need more playmakers in their front seven heading into next NFL season. Pete Carroll, a defensive-minded head coach, has already stated that they need some help on their front seven heading into next season. So Tyree Wilson would be a great addition to this young Seattle Seahawks football team. Tyree Wilson is a tall, long pass rusher that can make plays when he's lined up on the defensive end, lined up as a defensive end, or lined up as a pass rush on that defensive line. He's also a great player against defending the run. So those are my top five. That's my small mock draft of the teams that, if the draft were tomorrow, these were the teams that I believe the players would be selected at. No trades in this once again, but again, that's my mock draft 1.0 samples so far.